folks, how you doing? Chappie here. Beautiful Thursday, week's almost over. Let's get this thing going here. I noticed something, folks, have you ever noticed, I should say, that a lot of times when you're trying to do the right thing, you often come up against a lot of adversity. This can be seen in the workplace. Obviously, in the Army, we had it happen a lot. Just in life in general. You try to do the right thing, and everything comes against you. Not just everything, but a lot of times just people around you come against you. I think it's kind of human nature a little bit. That's a reality in life. When the squadron was in Iraq for OIF 3, we were operating out of Camp Rustamiyah, which was a forward operating base in southeast Baghdad. And it was a decent-sized little base. We had a old Iraqi hospital, and it had been turned into an aid station, basically. And what would happen is if we took hits outside the wire, they would bring the wounded back to the aid station. And the key there was to stabilize and then get them on the medevac over to the green zone as quick as they could. A particular officer that worked there, one of the docs, came up with an idea, because what was happening was we were losing people on the helicopter flight from the stabilizing aid station over to the hospital. And his idea was simply, hey, could we just have one surgical team placed here at the aid station? We had plenty of room to do it. It was safe, but that would help. That would help, because then if they needed a quick type of procedure that would help them survive the ride over to the cache, it would definitely benefit all involved here, right? His idea was met with an initial, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But it was one of those where they just were going to blow off. And I don't know the full reasons. I mean, I think part of it had to do with money, the resources, the cost that it would take. But to me, saving soldiers' lives there should be no cost put on that. You should do whatever you can to keep soldiers alive in a combat zone. He kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing for this surgical team. Well, pretty soon he came across adversity. People were ridiculing him. They were telling him to shut up. They were just coming against the guy, and he kept saying, we just need a surgical team here. He was labeled as rocking the boat. You see, the system had a way of operating. Stabilize, medevac to the hospital. He wanted to kind of just put an extra piece in there. So he was considered rocking the boat. Go figure that. Finally, he kept pushing so much, he was conveniently relocated in Iraq. And we never did get our surgical team. Now, later, as I was a brigade chaplain with a medical brigade, I realized that plan had eventually been implemented, not based on his idea, probably some general somewhere, hey, I've got a good idea, and probably because he had heard this kid talking about this on the FOB way back when. They started putting surgical teams with smaller units further advanced on the battlefield. Which yes, saved lives. We know that. I mean, you put another asset in there, you're going to save lives. Very good idea, very good move. But this poor major, he met such adversity with this idea simply because he was going against kind of the status quo, the norm. He had a good idea, and somebody was threatened at this idea because they didn't come up with it. So there's times in life we're going to face adversity when we go in there trying to do the right thing, trying to do good, folks. Now, there is a verse here for us today. Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Folks, if you're trying to do the right thing, if you're trying to follow God, if you're trying to minister, if you're trying to get the word of God out, and you're coming up against adversity, folks, the Bible tells us, do not grow weary. Keep moving on. Keep doing. You know God's with you. You know God's with you each and every time, especially if He's called you and given you this idea that you have to put forth, or this mission that you have to put forth, or this calling that you have to put forth. Continue going, folks. Do not grow weary in doing good. There's a book in the Bible, it's called Nehemiah. It's a book in the Old Testament. The whole story is about this guy named Nehemiah that went back from Persia to Jerusalem to rebuild the wall. They needed the wall built. The whole time he's trying to build this wall, he comes up against adversity. The local warlords are trying to stop him. The people there that enjoyed the status quo were trying to stop him. They were trying to stop something that was going to help the people of Jerusalem. They were going to build a wall and have protection. He never ceased. He never ceased. He continued to persevere, even in light of the adversity. Eventually, the wall was built, and he got through. And it's Nehemiah. If you get a chance, read the book. It's an awesome book. A lot of leadership values in there. A lot of leadership principles that can be learned from it. And it's just a good story, folks. It really is. You can't go wrong with the Bible. All right, folks. In life, when you are trying to do the right thing, you will face adversity. Just remember, keep your eyes on God, trust in the Lord, and know He's already won the fight, folks. Walk like lions.